I thought it was going to be really late. I told myself I had plenty of time to run errands. Cutting it close. But 1:04. I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to what I thought I would be. Bless it. Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about social media stuff. I am in no way an expert, but I find it fascinating, and I am the person who constantly needs to know how things work, why things work. And I'm like, dive in, Google all the things, learn all the things, watch all the videos. So, I love social media. I've said this a million times. Social media to me is a tool in our tool belt. It is not the be all end all. And so I will explain what that means as I get into this today. But also, I should probably tell you who I am. All right. My name is Dawn Schaefer. I am at Dawn Gets Waxy on all social media. Something I'll address today, why that is. And then I was thinking about what to say, and I was like, oh, I could really also tie this into branding yourself a little bit, but then we'll be here all day and I'm going to try not to do that. But I am director of Team How I Met Your Warmer, and I celebrate my 9-year anniversary at the end of March. So, that's my little bitty background. And we are going to talk about some social media things. So, first of all, I'm going to start out. Very light branding conversation. 1, branding does not mean you need to know everything in the entire universe about yourself, but it is very handy for your customers and people to find you if you are branded similarly across all platforms. So this will very much help your social media. It helps your algorithms. It helps everything. Like I said, I'm at Dawn Gets Waxy on everything. I'm at Dawn Gets Waxy on my Peloton. I am literally at Dawn Gets Waxy on every platform, because if you search Dawn Gets Waxy on Google, everything that comes up will be me. It'll be all of my stuff, right? So I'm not saying you need to go out and figure out your colors and what your business cards look like or whatever. I'm not saying you need to do a whole branding session. That's a whole nother conversation. But I would kind of figure out something that can unify you across all platforms, just because it makes it much easier when your customers are looking for you to easily find you. And so that is my tiny little bit about branding I'm going to throw in, because it'll help you across all platforms to do something like that. So that's my first suggestion. The next thing I'm going to say is that your social media is your storefront. So we don't have a physical storefront, right? We don't have internet ads. We don't have those mailers that get dropped off in people's mailboxes. We don't have TV ads, radio commercials, billboards. We're not Target or Walmart or what shows up in my Vistaprint. I'm trying to think of what shows up in my inbox literally multiple times a day, right? They are literally in your email multiple times a day. And so it's funny that we think that by talking to our customers 2 or 3 or 4, 5, even 6, 7, 8 times a month, that we're bothering people. Because I don't know about you, but most businesses bother me 8 times a day. So perspective shift, okay? And just a little fact is that most people don't respond and take action until you've had a contact point with them 8 to 12 times. So that is why you see these businesses know those numbers too. And that's why you see them feed you crap multiple times a day, because they know if they feed you 8 times a day, you're going to end up in that Target at least once a week, right? Every time I see a Target ad, I'm like, oh, I might need to go to Target. I probably need to know if there's something new in the dollar spot today. Just maybe. Just might need to know that. And so they know the same things we do. And so I'm sharing it with you because stop feeling so guilty for working your business, okay? Social media is an amazing tool for us. It allows us to reach a ton of people at once. People you know and people you don't know, current customers, future customers, their people. And so stop feeling guilty for working your business. Stop feeling guilty for sharing Scentsy with people. If it's your job and you love it, share it. You have no problem sharing your friends' businesses. You have no problem sharing your kid pooping. You have no problem sharing what you had for dinner. You have no problem sharing your workout, whatever. You share a million things all day long without any guilt or thought. But as soon as you go to share Scentsy, you feel guilt about it. Stop it, okay? Here's your permission. Knock it off. No need to feel guilty for working your business. So it's your storefront. The thing about a storefront is... you're not just representing yourself, you're representing Scentsy, you're representing whatever your business is. And so be aware that what you share on that storefront represents you and your brand as a person and as Scentsy. Okay. And I say that because this past year especially has been insanity, and a lot of people like to share their opinions. They like to stoke the fire, poke the bear, whatever. To me, everybody's allowed to have opinions. We all have opinions. You're not changing anybody's opinion on the internet, okay? So the controversial things, those are conversations to have with people one-on-one where you can hear tone and inflection and have a good debate. The internet, you're not going to do that. You're just going to make people mad and make people click unfollow and unfriend, okay? I say this as a person who is usually very even-keeled about other people's opinions, but hit unfriend, unfollow a million times this past year because I don't need your drama. Protect your peace. And in protecting my peace, I'm going to protect other people's peace. And if I want to have a conversation with you about controversial stuff, great, let's do it. I'm an Enneagram 8. If you're an Enneagram person, I will gladly have a debate with you. But let's do it in person where we can hear each other out. The internet's not that place, okay? So your storefront. If you're using social media as your business, it's your storefront. Think about everything that comes out of you into that keyboard and how that's going to be perceived by the people that see it. Perception is reality, okay? So you may be just doing it to put something out there, whatever, but to other people seeing it, how are they going to see it when they don't know your tone, they don't know your background, they don't know your inflection, they don't know why you're writing it, they don't have any background information, they just see a few words. Yeah, we don't need no drama. No drama. Okay. Pussycat dolls. All right. That's my rant about that. Figure I'd get a couple rants out of the way. So in that realm, people to follow. Autumn already kind of talked about making sure you follow people. You are not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone is going to be your cup of tea. Also okay. Something we learn as we mature is that not everyone is for us. Not everyone is ours, right? We don't have to stand around the campfire singing Kumbaya with everyone and their aunt, uncle, cousin, sibling, mother, father, whatever, right? I feel like Mallory and I talk about this all the time. Not everybody clicks. It doesn't mean we're not respectful to other people, but you don't have to be in a circle with people who don't serve you and lift you up and make you better. Okay? You don't have to. Here's your permission to not have to experience that. You don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody has to be your cup of tea. So, right people to follow. Follow people on social media who have similar goals as you, similar experiences as you, similar hobbies as you. Get to know people. To me, like I said earlier, social media is a tool. It is a place to go. It is a tool in your tool belt where you can connect with other humans, some who do have the same things as you, some who don't, but it's a place where we can actually get to know people if we really utilize it as that, instead of a place where we come to like scream and yell at each other. So like join groups on Facebook of interests that you have. Like I'm in plant groups, I'm in Harry Potter, Disney groups, I'm in a couple groups about budgeting because I've been really working on like my debt. I'm in a couple wedding groups. Like, what are your current interests? Because I'm engaged and getting married this year. So like, what are your interests? What's going on in your life? Join those groups. You're not talking Scentsy. Your profile should show that you're a Scentsy consultant very easily. And if you don't, like, go look at some of your leaders here and look at their profile, you can tell they're Scentsy consultants. I'm making a connection based on our commonalities. And then if they decide to like head into the Scentsy question, like we'll talk Scentsy, right? On as far as other consultants, like who runs a business that you want to achieve someday? Who is your kind of personality person that you strive to be in that Scentsy world? Like, not that we're ever going to be those people, but like there are certain people that you'll connect with, how they run their business, how they present themselves, what their branding looks like, what their training looks like, and follow those people. You don't have to be friends with them necessarily, but you can follow them, tag along on the ride on those coattails, take the bits and pieces that you love, plug them into your business, and be just as awesome as they are, if not better, okay? Just because someone's journey is further ahead than yours doesn't make your journey any less purposeful. But you have to plug those things that they are doing to be successful into your business and utilize that knowledge that's already been achieved. Like, don't just sit back. This business isn't going to work for you, but social media is a great way to connect with people who have a business that is where you want to be. And then also, I would say connect with people who are on the same path as you. If you are wanting to get out of hobby level, if you're wanting to get into director and beyond, if you want to build a team, if you want to build your PRV, and I'm going to tell you, if you are, like, this is a director, hustle to director group. If you are hustling to director, you're director and you want to get beyond that, you have to be very selfless in this business. I'm just going to like straight up throw it out there. You have to be very selfless in this business. This business is not about you. It's about all the people you're going to bless along the way, which sounds so super cheesy. I realize that, but like, I'm sorry, that 500 PRV doesn't mean shit to me as much as it would mean if I gave that 500 PRV to the person hosting that party so that they could join and have their own business and be a rock star. Okay. I would rather have mediocre PRV and be adding people to my team, like explosion bomb level nutso-ness, because blessing those people will come back to me tenfold, right? The PRV I can make up later. It's all about how we're going to invest in those people. And so that's a little bit of a tangent, but that is something that was it was in my head in that moment. It felt right. So I'm saying it. So follow people who inspire you to make the business about the people who are going to come in and be as blessed as we are. The people who are chasing a title, the people who are chasing a dollar sign are going to be short-lived in this industry, because there's a cap to that unless you share the blessing. Okay. So I tied that back in. Follow people who are sharing the blessing like it's their business, because that is the long term, the long goal, the big stretch end is to share the blessing so that other people join you on this journey, so that your legacy is huge, wide, and deep. Okay. So personally, those are the consultants I follow. Not the ones who are grandiose and great necessarily and like having their ass kissed by consultants at the moment, but who is building a lasting, enduring, blessing-filled business. Okay. So, and I wrote down how social media influences you. And so that is kind of part of that. You want to, when you go to your feed, see that inspiration, see the new idea, see on a bad day, someone killing it that makes you want to get out of that muck and guck in your brain and get to work and achieve that same goal, right? How you influence others on social media. We talked about being positive and focusing your posts so that you are hitting, getting in people who have similar goals as you, have similar drive as you, aren't sitting in muck and guck and being negative, right? The way you present yourself is what you're going to get back. So if you're presenting yourself in like, I can't do it, I'm always broke, I can't recruit, I can't get PRV, I have to hit these goals and I'm not going to do it, I'm going to, I can't get anyone to join my team, I'm going to post all this negative stuff, I'm going to post all this controversial stuff, I'm going to talk about how sad and upset I am. Like, yes, there is realities and there's days where that happens, but guess what? You've made it through 100% of those bad days, and tomorrow's a new day. In fact, the next half hour is a new half hour. So like, you choose to sit in that shit, or you shake it off, shower, find some people who aren't sitting in the shit and get into their tribe and move on. Okay. It's a choice. It's a choice we make to sit in the shit or not. It's a choice that we make. And some days I know I suffer with depression. I have really bad anxiety. Some days we choose to sit in the shit. I don't pick to get on social media those days. So like, you have to, if you want to draw in the kind of people who will explode your world in the best way possible, you have to present the best parts of you that you want to be the parts people know about you, the parts you want to manifest. It is all about your mindset and how you explode that. But if that's not what you're sharing, yeah, you're going to draw in the negative energy because that's what you're putting out. You get back what you put out, okay? And that's how you're going to influence others. Also, put some moisture in my mouth. How do I want to word it? You don't have to post Scentsy all the time. In fact, I very much say, like, I mean, people who look are going to go, wow, Dawn, you post a lot of Scentsy stuff. But how are you posting Scentsy stuff? I'm going to point to this funny situation because I know Autumn and Mallory will think it's funny and we thought it was funny in the moment. There are flyers floating around. There's flyer groups floating around. People create flyers. Autumn creates flyers, Mallory creates flyers, I create flyers. People create flyers. Fine. If you look at Autumn or Mallory's or my social media, it is going to be like 0.01% of our posts are going to have a flyer in them. And it's basically only going to be when it is an LTO and we have no other option, right? And the reason is because, I'm going to get a little bit into algorithms right now, is because social media sees an image. They're like, oh, that's an advertisement. Oh, that's a sales post. Oh, like 500 people have posted that same thing. And a bunch of things are going to happen. One, social media, whatever you're on, whatever social media it is, because it's in the agreement that you clicked yes to, even though you didn't read those terms and conditions. I'm telling you right now, it's in the terms and conditions that the social media is not a selling tool. It is not a sales site. This is not Etsy. This is not a place that's meant for selling things. It is a social media build relationships tool, which is why I think social media is important. It is a relationship building tool. But the second you start showing the algorithms that you're selling things, you're getting buried. So flyers, posts with your link in it, posts with pricing in it, like they literally get buried. I'm saying this out of sincerity. I have a friend who works for Facebook. Like, they get literally buried. The computer system sees that stuff, swallowed up. You don't show up in people's feeds. And the more you do it, the more you're swallowed up in people's feeds and they don't see anything you post. And so a huge part of being successful on social media is being authentically you. Okay? There is no other you. There's no other Dawn. There's no other Jess, Eric, Mallory, Autumn, whoever is out there listening to this. There is no other you. No one can replicate who you are. We don't have that power yet. And so literally be yourself. It is your biggest, strongest, most powerful tool you have is to just be you. And so yes, share Scentsy, but share Scentsy in a you authentic way. And you have very amazing leaders on this team who are fantastic at that. I literally point at Autumn and Mallory and Shelby. Like, I point at the people on this team to show other people how to be authentic on social media. Like, just be you. Show your daily life. Show how you use Scentsy in it. Like, this does not have to, it is not rocket science, but we make it rocket science somehow. We always want to make things more complicated. It's a weird thing we do as adults. This is not very confusing. You love Scentsy. You own the product. Share the product as you use it. Pretty easy. That's literally all I'm asking you to do, and do it in your own personality, your own wording, your own vernacular. So it sounds like you, looks like you, is you, presenting something you are passionate about and love. And if you've already branded your social media where your website's there, they know you're a Scentsy consultant, they will go and find that information. Super, super easy. If someone goes to my Facebook profile, it's right there. My website is pinned to the top. It's right there. It's in my cover photo. Like, it's easy for them to figure out how to get to me and order if they want to do that, right? And so algorithms are literally up to you. The other thing about algorithms is the way you interact, which is why I'm going to say why I said relationship building tool is what I consider it. I think it's like a huge relationship building tool. You cannot just post. Again, it cannot be all about you. If it's all about you, you're losing the point of Scentsy. It cannot be all about you. Social media is the exact same way. It cannot be all about you. We have to be less selfish in this world. If the past year hasn't taught us anything, the selfishness of this universe is rampant. So I'm going to encourage you to not be so selfish and make it about other people. So when you are on social media and you're like, be intentional about social media time. You can go into your social media settings, into your phone settings on Apple at least, and set how long you have access to apps every day if you're really bad at not setting goals. But like, you do not need to be on social media 5 million hours a day. It is going to burn you out. It is going to like strip your soul. And there is no wax emergency. Okay. So like, you do not have to answer things immediately. It's going to be okay. Take the break, protect your peace, right? But when you are on, be intentional. Schedule posts if you have to. That'll take a lot of stress out of your brain. You'll have already prepped some stuff so that your business is working when you're not working. 2, follow your customers, your friends, your family, whoever brings you joy. Follow them. I follow all my customers. It's why I said I don't really follow a lot of Scentsy consultants unless we've met in person and become friends, because I know what Scentsy has. I know what Scentsy has, and I'm like, I don't need to see the same things happening in my feed. And a lot of Scentsy consultants get stuck in that like advertisement mode instead of sharing their life mode. And I don't need to see the same advertisement over and over and over again. If I'm scrolling my feed, I want to see you. I don't care if there's Scentsy involved, if it's your personal life with Scentsy in it. But I want to see your kids. I want to see what you had for dinner. I want to see what workout you're doing, what new protein powder you're using, the new car you got, the really awesome headband you got, I don't know, whatever you're doing. I want to see your actual freaking life is the moral of my story. And if I'm not seeing that, all I'm seeing is like Scentsy ad after Scentsy ad, flyer after flyer. I need help. Help me reach my goal. And I'm not saying like some of that isn't okay, but like if that is all your feed is, I'm being real honest. I'm clicking the unfollow button because I want to be able to connect with you. I want to know who you are. Why am I friends with you? Why am I following you? And then when I'm getting your personal information, there is a hierarchy to interacting with posts so that you show up in their feed more, which is important, right? So there's a hierarchy. If you're just doing the like and scroll, it's not going to do anything. What do you do if you see that you have a Facebook notification or a Instagram notification that someone liked something? All right, cool, whatever. I literally never click on those people. I don't go and see what they liked. I'm like, oh, they just liked to post, whatever. Like it is literally the lowest form of interaction on social media. Comments, they take a little extra time. They have a little bit more oomph behind them. And you go and you read those and you respond to them, right? If somebody comments on your status or your Instagram post, like you go and you read it and you respond. So comment, step up your game, interact with your customers and your people by actually leaving comments. I don't care if you click like too, but leave the comments. In Instagram, share it to if you like a post somebody makes, share it to your story. Make a little comment in your story. It bumps them up in your feed. It bumps you up in their feed because they'll go and see what you shared. Sharing into your story, huge in Instagram. Another Instagram one that's a big one is in the bottom right of any photo when you're going through your feed, there's a little flag. It saves it to a collection. That also bumps people up in your feed. It's like the ultimate if you save somebody's stuff to a collection. But I save stuff all the time. I have like a quotes collection, a wedding collection, an Enneagram 8 collection, a food collection, and I'll save things that I really like into my collection so I can come back and revisit those posts later. But like comment, don't do the like and scroll. That's so mindless. It's so unintentional. And it's literally not the way to build any sort of camaraderie with anyone. And then Instagram is my favorite, to be honest. I feel like people are a lot more intentional on Instagram. And I'll even go through and go through the explore page and like follow new accounts that I like that have because that's like picking things that are based on what I like and what I interact with. So I'll follow new accounts that way. Hashtags, and I'm not going to go deep into this, but like you can Google how to like really manifest things with hashtags. And with hashtags, you kind of want to do a mix of very popular things and things that identify. Like Dawn Gets Waxy is hashtagged on all my posts because that links it to me. If somebody's searching Dawn Gets Waxy, it's going to link back to my account. Scentsy's on there, but that's a big one, right? Lots of Scentsy stuff will come up. Like go with seasonal things. Go with like if you have a specific group that you want to connect with, like all my workout stuff, like in my stories, I'll hashtag it and put Peloton on there, one Peloton, whatever's going on, and put that on my stories. And you don't see it because here's a tip in stories. I hide those things. I make them real small. I make them the color of some spot in the background and I hide them. There are hashtags on almost all my stories, but I hide them in my stories. In my feed, I put the hashtags in the first comment. Just because I share stuff to Facebook and like the hashtag thing on Facebook is not really as important, but it's huge on Instagram. And this is all stuff you can delve deeper into. I'm giving you some very basic algorithm stuff here. But if you really want to reach a specific part of the country or a state, like I'll put Ohio or Cincinnati because that's where I'm at, as a hashtag, because people who go searching for those specific hashtags, you're going to pop up. Does that make sense? And that's huge. Hashtag stuff is huge on Instagram. So I wanted to point it out because a lot of people don't utilize hashtags very well. And I've been really trying to be better about it and do more research about it because like that's how you expand into other things. And that's huge. It's just a massive growth opportunity. And then lastly, I've only been talking half an hour. I thought I'd been talking for a really long time. The couple of last things I'm going to say. I'm giving you a lot of information. I'm giving you a lot of like things to check off. You cannot do it all at once, and that's okay. And please don't try to do it all at once. It will overwhelm you and shut you down, okay? You do have to learn by diving in. And Google's a powerful tool. There's a lot of YouTube videos on things. You do have to learn by diving in. You've got to get your feet wet. You just kind of have to tackle it. You're not going to break it. Some things will work for you. Some things won't. Don't be upset if it doesn't work for you. Move on to the next thing. But try like 2 or 3 things at a time, max. See what works. Otherwise, if you're trying like 10 things at a time and something doesn't work, you'll be like, okay, which of the 10 things isn't working, right? Try 1, 2, 3 things at a time. See what is working, keep the stuff that works, eliminate the stuff that doesn't, add something new in, right? Or if something's like sort of working, but maybe it needs a tweak, you'll be able to make that adjustment easier. Does that make sense? So, learn by diving in. Just don't do it all at once. Don't overwhelm yourself that way. Do a couple of things at a time, see what works for you, and move on to the next thing. And ultimately, you can throw in all the things you want to throw in, but you've done it a little bit at a time so that it's manageable. You grow appropriately. It clicks appropriately. You can make the appropriate adjustments. And so really, you just got to go for it. But always remember it's your storefront. Always remember you have to stay positive. Always remember that what you put out is what you're going to get back. And manifest that ish, man. Your mindset, what you put out there, create those goals, those dreams, and chase after them. Make a plan. Check those boxes. I'm a check mark person. I'm like, I gotta check my list off. So, but you have to have the dreams, then create the plan, then work the shit out of that plan. None of it happens. The magic you see other people doing, it has a lot of hard work behind it. It has a lot of checklists behind it. It has a lot of extended stuff that you don't publicly see, because here's my last thing. Social media is a highlight reel. It is a highlight reel. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that to put it in perspective for you. You are seeing the best of everybody on social media. You are seeing their like what comes after all the hard work and the hustle, okay? So don't be blinded by the fact like this person's got this perfect business or this perfect life or this whatever. No, you're seeing the highlight reel. You're not seeing the bad days because they're keeping that to their tribe and themselves and their family and their friends. You're not seeing the hours at their desk working things because that resulted in that business doing what it's doing, because most people aren't sharing the nuts and bolts because it's, to most people, that's not that exciting, right? So you don't see the failures, you don't see the struggle, you don't see the long nights and hard days. Like, it's a highlight reel. And also, like, if you're like me, I spent 5 years doing this for funsies. It was a hobby. I didn't think I wanted anything else except for some fun and going to SFRs. Okay. And so people's story changes on a dime. 4 years ago, I decided it was going to become more, and I started hustling. So like, everyone's story is different. Your chapter 1 is someone else's chapter 15. It just doesn't matter. But all you're seeing is a highlight reel. Okay. Put it in perspective. And I think that's all I got for you guys today. But thanks for tagging along. Thanks for listening. Hopefully it gave you at least one takeaway. Share your takeaway, because I want to hear what your takeaway is. thank you, Autumn and Mallory and Shelby, for letting me be part of this and letting me share and pour into your people. I love you guys so deeply. You are my favorites. And go kick some ass. It's all about you. You're the only you. You're amazing. And you can do it.